Bud Ray Productions presents.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror in the very hearts of sharpsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for any kind of weather from now on. Stock up tomorrow with Blue Coal, America's finest anthracite. The coal that is colored a harmless blue at the mines for your protection. Then you'll be ready to keep your family comfortable and healthy this winter with even, dependable heat. The kind of superior heat Blue Coal always gives. The Shadow. Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and a master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow, never seen, only heard. His true identity is known only to his constant friend and aide, Margot Lane. Today's story, The Red Macaw.
The master speaks. Attention, ladies. The spirit of Shiva is upon us. Quiet. Put your hands up, all of you.
Extra, extra! Another Jewel Heist ruined society party! Read all about it! Extra, extra! Quiet, boys! Commissioner Weston's gonna speak to us!
Men, I have a very important announcement to make to all the members of the police department this morning. I have become convinced that the man responsible for the crime wave sweeping our city is a character who is known as the Shadow. I have issued a warrant for his arrest, and I want him brought to justice. Who's that? Riley? Who was that laughing?
I don't know, sir. Nobody seems to know.
I got it, Riley. You better clean up that mess.
Lamont Cranston! The police have got a warrant out for the Shadow?
Really, Miss Lane?
Listen, Lamont, dear, you've played the role of the Shadow for 5 years. You've driven a large part of the underworld out of business.
Yes, there's still a large part to be driven out of the business. You know, Margot, sometimes I suspect there is one controlling mind behind all of organized crime in this city. One master criminal. I'm certain of it. In fact, someday I'll find that man. Perhaps then we can talk of quitting.
But, Lamont, you can't fight the underworld and the police, too. You mean too much to me, and it must not happen. You must let the Shadow stop for my sake. Lamont, please.
Someday, perhaps, Margot, my dear. The Shadow still has much work to do. But about this little piece of playfulness on the part of the police, this warrant for a man they've never seen and can't identify, it interests me. I think if you won't mind my leaving you so abruptly, I think I'll take a run over to the Cobalt Club. It's just about the time my very good friend, Police Commissioner Ralph Weston, usually has a cocktail there.
Hello there, Cranston. Have a cocktail?
Hello, Weston. Don't mind if I do. Dry martini. Well, how's the police department? Anything of special import preying on the master's mind nowadays?
Well, nothing we can't deal with.
How delightful. There are so many things in life I myself am incompetent to deal with.
When you feel like that, you can always pay someone else to do the job. That's the advantage of being a millionaire.
I have often consoled myself with the same thought. By the way, didn't I hear that there was a jewel robbery at the Cathams last night?
Cranston, if I permitted anything to bother me, it would be the series of jewel robberies this fall. 3 in a row. Fortunately, we have our man. Or rather, we know who he is.
My dear man, you're infallible. Positively infallible.
It's the Shadow. We've got a warrant out for him now.
You have a warrant out for a shadow?
Not a shadow, Cranston. The Shadow.
So he's the one that staged these 3 jewel robberies, eh?
Yes. I'm inclined to believe he is.
Amazing. Who put you on his track?
Well, we've had a pretty hard time of it. Although there were always plenty of witnesses at these robberies. They all took place at parties, you know, and most of the guests were women.
Go on.
Well, we never could seem to get a coherent story out of them. None of them could seem to tell us just what happened. Acted almost as if they'd been hypnotized. Finally, we found one man, highly intelligent, and he made the suggestion.
And who is this brilliant intellect?
His name is Ram Lal. Poses as a mystic, occultism, wisdom of the East, all that sort of thing. Been educated in the best Egyptian universities.
Ah, yes. I believe I've heard of him.
You must have. Terribly popular. Goes to all the fashionable parties. The women are mad about him. Pretends to be a magician or something. Goes everywhere with a big red bird who talks. It really says the most amazing things.
I see. The police are now taking orders from a bird, eh?
Don't be silly. Ramlal is a brilliant man. When we questioned him, he said it was obvious, from the way the robberies were accomplished, that no ordinary crook was at the bottom of it. In fact, there was only one criminal with the finesse, the occult ability to confuse witnesses, who could be responsible. And he is the great, almost supernatural magician and detective, and criminal, the Shadow. And I think Ramlal is right. It all hangs together. The lack of clues, the witnesses who can't remember a thing, the strange, unkind methods used, it all points to a master criminal intelligence. So this time, we're going to get the Shadow.
You sound very determined, Weston. I'm glad you're not trailing me.
Well, Cranston, what would you do if you were the Shadow?
If I were the Shadow, I think I'd have a heart-to-heart talk with this magician colleague, Ram Law.
Ramlaw,
Who calls?
it is I, Ramlaw.
And who are you? I am alone here.
You are not alone. I am here with you.
And who are you?
The Shadow.
Oh, the Shadow. Welcome to my humble abode, dear master.
You've heard of me, I see.
But certainly, who has not heard of the Shadow? The comic strip, that joke for children.
Ramlaw, you have falsely accused me, and I do not easily forget or forgive.
And just what do you expect to do about it?
You choose to defy me?
Of course.
Ramlaw, you're a fool.
There are those who will not agree with you. And now, if you have finished, I just continue my devotions.
I have not finished. I will never have finished, Ramlal, until I have brought your downfall.
And how do you propose to do that?
There is no knowledge of the ancient world, no science of the modern that I will not bring against you.
Really? What does any Occidental know about the wisdom of the East? And as of your pompous modern science? Bah! I have studied that too. You can prove nothing without witnesses, and the women who are my followers, they will not talk about me. They cannot. I have rendered them powerless.
Perhaps I can give them back their power, Ramlal. Somewhere you have left something undone. Some loose end that I will find. After that, it will be easy.
I shall await that discovery with delightful anticipation.
I rather think, Ramlal, you will not have to wait too long. Ha 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 ha! Margot Lane, stand by for orders. Cultivate the acquaintance of Ramlal, Egyptian mystic. Pay special attention to the talking bird. Don't worry, Margot, I will protect you.
The fog is heavy on the river tonight, Miss Lane. Ships are calling to each other like lost souls.
Your view over the Hudson is very beautiful, Ramlal. It was kind of you to let me come and see it with you.
I am only happy that you enjoy it, Miss Lane.
Not everyone has the privilege of being the guest of the Master of Mystery.
You're flattering.
Not at all. By the way, speaking of mysteries, I can't help wondering about that great silent bird of yours that sits on his perch between the windows. It looks at me with such blank, staring eyes.
Ah, yes, my red macaw. You like him?
A macaw? Oh, he's gorgeous, but so silent.
Silent? You think so?
Well, he hasn't made a sound so far.
That is because he is a good servant. He awaits for orders.
Whose orders?
Mine and only mine.
You mean he won't speak for anybody else?
Exactly.
May I try him?
With pleasure.
What is his name?
Hareen.
Harim? What time is it? Do you know?
You see, he waits for me. Answer the lady, Hareen.
5, and it's just 5 o'clock. That is wonderful. But can he really talk, Ramlal? Pronounce words?
Most certainly. Hareen, what is the end of life?
Death!
And what is the end of death?
Life! Life!
Incredible. Did you teach him the answers, Ramlal?
What need to teach? He knows.
Will you ask him just one question for me?
If you like.
What is it that casts a shadow and yet is only a shadow?
Answer, Hareen.
Satan!
The shadow of a shadow. I wonder.
Tell me, Miss Lane, why do you ask that question?
Why, I hardly know.
You had no particular purpose.
Why, of course not. Why should I?
You lied. You have come here as a spy.
How dare you speak like that? Open the door. I'm going home.
You're going nowhere until you have answered my questions. Come here, Miss Lane.
Don't! Don't you touch me!
I know how to deal with women.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Who turned off the lights? Answer me.
The door is open, Miss Lane. You can go. You'll be quite safe.
Gladly.
The shadow! It is you again! I might have known. Shadow, why do you not reveal yourself so that we may meet face to face?
I'm here, Ramlal. Here in the corner.
This time I am prepared for you.
Ramlal, your Hindu magic should have told you. You cannot shoot a shadow. Margolene, a red macaw can't talk. Get me a list of all women under the influence of Ramlal. Stand by for orders.
Sultra, Miss Lane is a spy for the police.
Then she must die, master.
Yes, she must die. And you, a servant of Shiva, a master of death by the news, should know how.
Tell me what it is, master. Tomorrow she will be dead, gasping for air.
It is well.
Why did you insist on coming home with me tonight, Lamont?
My dear, I have a curious feeling that you are in danger.
But why?
After all, Ramlal suspects you and... Did you hear that?
Of course. What was it? A night bird?
A night bird here in New York? Well, perhaps. There it is again. Where would you say it came from?
From just outside my window. It couldn't be anything but a bird. This is the top floor.
I really think this extraordinary bird merits my attention.
What are you going to do with that revolver?
It may put me on more equal terms with the bird who cries. Listen carefully, Margot. I'm going to open the window and lean out. When I do so, hold on to my belt. Brace yourself and hold with all your weight. Pull me back, do you understand?
Lamont, I'm frightened.
You needn't be. Now then, ready? Here goes the window. Up. Now I'll lean out and see what makes that cry. Ah.
Lamont! Lamont, are you hurt?
No, darling. My throat's rather sore, that's all.
But what was it? What happened? I couldn't see.
An Indian strangler on the roof. I knew the call. It was the call of Shiva, used by those who kill with a noose. He used that cry to get me out the window. Thought it was you, of course. Dropped the noose. I got him before he got me, fortunately.
But what does it mean?
Simply a delicate attention from Ramlal to you.
The man must be mad. You said he was clever.
He's mad with fear, that's all. Until this man is unmasked, you're not safe. So we'll pretend that this little ruse tonight was successful. You'll go into hiding here in your own house. Tomorrow the papers will have a story of your untimely ending. I'll arrange for that.
But Lamont...
Please, darling, do as I ask. It's only for a little while.
But when do I come to life again?
The Roger Berkeleys are giving a party tomorrow night, aren't they?
Yes. The invitation came last week. Ramlal will be there.
You will go to that party.
But what will everyone say? I mean, if my death has been announced.
The greater the shock, the better. Ramlal is going to be there, of course.
I know he will. Betty Berkeley told me.
Good. Your appearance there ought to make Ramlal believe in miracles. Margot, something tells me that tomorrow night we'll clear the name of the Shadow, but I'll have to act quickly from now on.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure what Lamont Cranston, well-known playboy and dilettante, is going to do, but somebody else knows that you must fight fire with fire. The Shadow is going to give a seance.
Ladies, please give me your attention. I know that you have all been under the influence of Ramlal.
Why, where is he? I don't see anybody. I'm scared. Well, I'm not.
I have come to you this way, ladies, because I wish to demonstrate to you that matter cannot only be materialized, but it can be dematerialized also. I am a voice, no more. Look around the room. It is not large. You will not see me, and yet I am here.
I don't like this at all. Be calm, dear. It's only a fake of some kind. Any yogi could do it if he wished.
If it is a fake, your highly intelligent mind should quickly uncover it. And speaking of fakes, I know that all of you, every one of you, has been under the influence of that prince of fakes, Ramlaw.
Didn't I tell you? I wish I hadn't come. Don't worry, my dear.
You don't have anything to fear. I bring you knowledge. Knowledge that has been hard brought by years of training under the greatest mystics of the earth. Before I give you my message, I must know how greatly, if at all, your minds have been distorted from the truth by Ramlaw's teaching. Do you not believe? Will you submit a sample, a harmless test?
No test will shake us. We have complete confidence in Ramlaw.
Very well. Attention. I turn out the lights. Look at the end of the room. There is a wheel upon the wall, and on the wheel are electric lights of various colors. You see them?
Certainly.
Good. Watch them closely as the wheel revolves. Ready?
Perfectly ready. Of course it's cheap trickery. Cheap.
I throw the switch. The wheel revolves. Keep your eyes fastened to it. Leave your minds free. Empty them of all error. Watch the wheel revolve. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. The lights have blended into one. You can see nothing else. Your minds are open to me. I can see your thoughts. I can see your thoughts. I can see your thoughts. Miss Fowler, listen.
Yes?
You were all three parties to which jewel robberies took place this autumn, were you not?
Yes, I was.
And Ramlaw and his red macaw, was it all of them? Was he not?
Yes, he was.
Now concentrate, divest your soul of all error, and now let me see into your mind. Tell me the last thing that happened before the masked thieves came into the room.
The red macaw was asked a question.
Ah, and what was the question?
Ramlaw asked it. He asked it, what was beneath the light?
And what was the answer of the red macaw?
The shadow. The shadow.
The shadow?
Hello? Hello? Police Commissioner Weston speaking. Who is this?
The shadow!
Hey, what is this? A joke? The shadow wouldn't dare call me up. There's a warrant out for him now.
I'm not taking that seriously, Commissioner.
You will when I serve it.
You mean I will if you serve it?
I'm not worrying about that.
I will give you something else to worry about. You may know that the Roger Berkeleys are giving a small party tonight.
Certainly I know. So what?
The fourth in a series of jewel robberies will be committed there. Are you interested?
Try to pull that, I'll surround the house and have a raiding party ready to break in at any minute.
Excellent. I cannot ask for more, and if you wish to choose the right minute for the raid, you will wait for the signal.
What signal?
The signal given by the red macaw. When he mentions my name, that is the signal. Remember, the shadow.
could come tonight, Lamont. I was afraid this fearful news about Margot Lane might keep you away.
My dear Muriel, nothing could keep me away from one of your parties.
Yeah, so sweet of you. I think you know everybody here. Oh, have you met Ramlaw?
No, I haven't had the pleasure.
Oh, Ramlaw, I want to present Lamont Cranston.
Charmed, I'm sure, Mr. Cranston.
How do you do? I've heard quite a lot about you. Sometime I'd like to see your famous bird.
Ramlaw is showing off his red macaw for us tonight. Aren't you, Ramlaw?
I am to have that pleasure, I believe.
I'd very much like to meet that bird. I hear amazing things about it.
The mystic East is full of the unexpected.
Quiet, please. Silence. We're to have a most unusual pleasure tonight. Ramlaw has brought his red macaw and has promised that it will answer questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to present to you Hareen, the sacred red macaw. The master speaks. Attention. The spirit of Shiva is upon us.
Good evening, everybody.
But I thought you were dead.
The reports of my death were somewhat exaggerated. But I didn't mean to interrupt. You were about to listen to the red macaw as I came in. Please continue, Ramlaw.
I cannot. I am ill.
Evening, Margot, old thing. If Ramlaw is, indisposed, do you mind? I wonder if I can, do anything with the red macaw.
You are absurd. He will not speak to you.
You'll be surprised, Ramlaw. Hareen, you heard me.
Yes?
Who is your master?
You are?
I protest this. Farce! It's...
Just one more question, Ramlaw. Hareen, who is under the light?
The shadow! The shadow!
a lie! A cheat!
Is it? Wait, dear master.
Put up your hands, all of you. This is a stick-up.
Get 'em, boys.
Drop that gun, you!
What is this, Ramlaw, a trap?
Yes! No!
Oh, you don't know, eh? Well, take this bullet for Shiva, then, traitor.
No, you don't! I got him, Chief, and we caught 3 others outside.
Good. Take them to headquarters.
Okay, come on, you.
Wait a minute. Riley, take this one too.
Keep away from me!
This Ramlell guy?
Certainly. He's the leader. He tried to put me off the track.
Okay, come on, get going.
He's someone else too, unless I'm very much mistaken.
But Lamont, the macaw, it talked.
No, it didn't. Ramlaw talked for it. Simple ventriloquism, that's all. And it just so happens that I'm a good ventriloquist as well as Ramlaw.
Oh, Lamont, you're marvelous.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a surprise for you. It is one of the most satisfactory discoveries of my whole career in crime detection. You know the man taken here tonight is Ramlaw. His real name is The Shadow. Yes. And for once, the laugh is on the Shadow. What was that?
You're wrong, Commissioner. You've got Ramlaw, but the Shadow has the last laugh.
Before today's adventure with the Shadow comes to an end, John Barkley, Blue Coal's own heating expert, is here to say a few words. Mr. Barkley.
Good evening, friends. Before winter sets in, you folks want to be very sure of having a comfortable home, don't you? Well, here's the way to ensure proper home heating. Call your local blue coal dealer and take advantage of the extra free service he can give you. Remember, he's more than just a fuel dealer. He's an authority on modern home heating. For more than 6 years, I've trained servicemen for your blue coal dealers. These John Barkley servicemen, as they're called, have shown thousands of families how to operate their furnaces in order to get better heat at lower cost. The combination of blue coal and John Barkley service will, I am sure, warrant a trial by you. I thank you for your time. Good night.
The story you have just heard is copyrighted by The Shadow magazine. The characters in this story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
As you sow, Eva, so shall you reap, Eva. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
You have been listening to The Red Macaw, a lost episode of The Shadow by Edward Hale Bierstadt, broadcast originally on October 3rd, 1937. This reenactment by Bud Ray Productions featured Bud Ray, Grace Kale, Marcus Antonius, Cory Davis, and Nick Petoletti. This production was completed in April 2016.